All right, week 16, we got Packers against the Bears. Before I get into this, I'm looking for subscribers, so please subscribe. Drop me a note if you got any questions. So let's go ahead and get into this. So Green Bay is favored by 1.5. The model really likes Green Bay. I'm going to take Green Bay. A lot to talk about here. The first thing is going to be they announced today that Micah Parsons did suffer a ACL tear, so he's out. Big question is going to be how is that going to affect how that defense responds? Because that dude is a dynamic player. That notwithstanding, I think the overall composition of the teams, uh, I think Chicago is improving. They're looking good. They're going to be a good team in the future. I love watching teams like grow before your eyes. I hate seeing uh, good quarterbacks like Caleb Williams come out with a lot of high expectations and see them fail. And he's really growing well. He's looking really good. Same with Jordan Love as well. But that's what makes this such an exciting game is you see two young, growing quarterbacks who are good and getting better. But with that, I think overall the Packers, the model likes them with 80% chance. I'll get into why that is. But the total winning percentage between the correlated point spread and then the actual Monte Carlo, still right around 10. Uh, so, and I'll get into the reason why the model likes that. First thing is Green Bay. They do not have a high ranked rushing game. They have a really good passing game. They've got a really solid defense. Meanwhile, you go over the Bears. The Bears, they're running the ball really good. They have a mediocre passing game, and their defense has sucked. Okay. With that, though, I think their defense overall, though, has been able to play well enough for them to win. We'll see how that goes. This is a home game for Chicago. I realize that these are rivals, but they're not traveling far. They're not changing time zones. They're both cold weather teams, so I'm not really sure that just simply playing in Chicago necessarily gives them a home field advantage. Other than noise, and you better believe that these guys are going to be practicing for that. So I'm not really sure how much that's going to play into it. The other thing, though, is you go back to it, Green Bay beat them by 7 points just 3 weeks ago or 4 weeks ago. So let's get into more of the details. A couple things I'll point out is this is a head-to-head matchup for the passing game. Has potential to be a high passing game. So a couple things I point out is Jordan Love and that offensive passing game, looking at potential for some really high passing numbers. And then also just because Chicago has a poor defense all the way around, that's the reason why you can see some of these higher numbers on the run, even though Green Bay isn't known for their rushing game. And so that's going to be a significant factor. One thing that, again, when I look at the passing games, the passing yards, Micah Parsons not being in there, that will absolutely, it's going to change the way that defense has to roll. And I don't know how quickly they can adjust. And obviously, someone's going to say, well, you can't replace Micah Parsons. It's true. You still got to make adjustments. And it's going to take them some time to figure out, well, crap, now what the hell do we do? We just lost the best pass rusher, uh, you know, in the league, or one of the best pass rushers. You certainly argue for a couple other guys like Myles Garrett, but that notwithstanding, the big thing though is I look at this, come over to the top right. These numbers are all pretty much the same except for this right here. And that's because when you look at the numbers, Jordan Love, when he's on, when they're on, he is passing that ball downfield, and that makes a huge difference in this game. When you can break off those big plays, score from a distance, is it changes the way that defense is going to have to play because they got to try and take away that deep threat. He likes to sling it. Sometimes it doesn't work, but that notwithstanding, that's what he likes to do. When we come down here to the bottom, the first thing I would point out is notice the total point score, that drop off for Green Bay just from losing Micah Parsons just in and of himself. And then when you kind of go across, you definitely see a big advantage over here in the run game for Chicago. Got that, but that notwithstanding, that doesn't lead to explosiveness, and you can certainly see teams dominate the run game, dominate the time of possession, and still lose by 10 points. That's what I'd point out there. Otherwise, it's pretty even. And the quarterback situation, pretty even. Is really both these quarterbacks rank above average, is what that's saying. We'll see if Chicago can take advantage of that run game. But like I said, the that passing game of Green Bay, if they can go out, they can sling. It's going to be cold, Right now, the forecast is not saying it's supposed to be windy or snowy, so that opens that up for that offense. And I just don't think that the cold is going to bother either a Green Bay team or a Chicago team so much that it's going to really detract from the overall quality of the play. So I'm going to stick with the model here and think that they should be able to win by more than 1.5. That Green Bay should be able to win by more than 1.5. Should be a really fun game to watch. But I'm going to be watching and see how that Green Bay defense adjusts to not having Micah Parsons. That's going to be what you're going to have to watch because that's going to be and see how they make adjustments as well. So I expect that throughout the day they're going to be making adjustments just based on trying to find something that works. That's what you should be watching for because that's going to matter for the playoffs. Anyhow, like, subscribe, drop me a note, a question. Thanks.